356-1133-178. Someone is waiting to attend to you. Prevailing Mothers with Pastor Bambo Amakre will be back next week, same day, same time, and same station. World's Radio 89.3 FM. Jesus is Lord.
West Radio 89.3 FM. AGBEYEWO.
Come and see West Radio, your preferred awesome radio, 89.3 FM na baba. Come and see West Radio, come and see baby, 89.3 FM na you be your girl. Come and see West Radio, your preferred awesome radio, 89.3 FM na baba. Come and see West Radio, come and see baby, 89.3 FM now you be your girl. The news that is suitable, entertainment that makes you happy, sport, education and family affairs. Come and see West Radio, come and see baby, 89.3 FM now you be your girl. Come and see West Radio, your preferred awesome radio, 89.3 FM now baba. Come and see West Radio, come and see baby, 89.3 FM now you be your girl. West Radio, 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio.
Not just another radio station. Wells Radio, 89.3 FM. Broadcasting from Ibadan or your state brings you wholesome programs for you and your family.
Radio stations jupụtara Ibadan mana naanị otu radio ka ama ama West Radio 89.3 ọ pụrụ iche ọbata obie oyoyo radio.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
There is more to the headlines and stories and major dailies. There is more to the screaming headlines that we must look into. There is more to them that we must talk about. And that's why we have Perspectives Unlimited, to ensure that Nigerians share their views. Nigerians speak up on nation building, make their own contribution, Because we own our nation. Nigeria belongs to all of us. And so we can fold our hands and say, let it run as it should or would want to run by those who decide to run it. And so we don't just take the headlines as stories that should come and go, because another one will come the next second, minute, hour, or the next day. We must look at it critically. That's why we take you beyond the news with the stories, with in-depth analysis every day from Monday up until Friday, from 6:30 up until 7:30. 60 minutes of deep conversation about Nigeria. It's Perspectives Unlimited again this morning. Welcome to the show. My name is Ayo Emmanuel Ojo. 89.3 FM is the frequency. Wells Radio is the name. And Alafin Avenue in Oloyede Estate is where we are broadcasting from. Welcome to a brand new day, the second day in the month of June 2025. I hope you're well. It's a brand new week, a brand new day, a new beginning. And I pray for, God's renewed blessings upon all that we have, own, and will do this week and today. Amen. On the program today, we have the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard, and the Guardian newspaper. We scan through the front pages first, and the second segment of the show, we bring you in-depth analysis to help you make sense of them all. Once again, welcome to the show. We start with the top side of the Punch. On page 7, terrorist eyeing Nigeria, West Africa coastline, says the United States of America. Terrorist eyeing Nigeria, West Africa coastlines, says the US. And on page 2, grim tour, state move to evacuate flood zones. The writer says Niger buries 153. States brace for heavy rains. Citizens plead for action. Mokwa survivor fear disease outbreak. It is well with Niger State. Now moving on to page 34, Nigeria's petrol price 55% below West African average, says Dangote. Defamation, Natasha to appear in court on Tuesday on page 7, and 7 banks reserve with CBN sought to 18.8 trillion naira. It's on page 33. Moving on to page 5 of the Punch. NDLEA intercepts Saudi-bound pilgrimage with drugs on page 5. Withheld allocation, Osun taps project funds to pay local government workers on page 9. That's on the Punch this morning. And of course, trade and economic policies of President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, that's around the Nigerian Customs Service. You find it this morning on the Punch newspaper. I move on to the Vanguard, which is the second daily this morning on the show. Federal government gas-powered vehicle scheme runs into major hit nationwide. 785.6 billion investment threatened. Refuel stations, conversion centers, other facilities grossly inadequate. CNG buses, other equipment rot in parking lot. Current pain is temporal. Presidential CNG initiative. And on page 13, 50 killed, 15 parishes shot by armed headers in Makurdi Diocese, says Catholic priest. APC primaries, Amechi gave Tinubu dose of his medicine, says Shoyinka. And on page 8, Nigeria, 60 others affected as Saudi Arabia suspends block work visa. On page 10, debt burden, no sin in borrowing presidency. Moving on to page 14, Tinubu should not play God, Sule Lamido says, 2027 on page 14. On page 6, WAEC, thugs hired by parent assault vice principal for preventing cheating in Ondo. On page 9, federal government orders employee compensation scheme for civil servants. And finally, Dangote refinery symbolizes hope for Africa. ECOWAS leaders. Now to the final daily, the Guardian newspaper. Saudi Arabia evicts 205 unauthorized pilgrims from Mecca on page 2. Forum appeals for relocation of Giwa barracks as IEDs kill 9 in Borno. Arewa grieves over Niger flood disaster. Kano accident on page 30. And on page 6, 2027 opposition coalition shops for candidate as APC mocks effort. Economy not in crisis, says presidency as Afenifere breaks Bola Tinubu law. Mother allegedly hires thugs to beat vice principal for confiscating son's phone during WAEC. On page 7, I'm sure Wazobia will, talk about this later today. And on page 5, subscribers lament as fiber cuts disrupt services nationwide. And finally, the editorial page of The Guardian, ECOWAS at 50, a legacy at a crossroad. And that's all we can take this morning. We read from The Punch, The Vanguard, and The Guardian newspaper. Welcome to the show once again. We're live on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. Our Facebook page is right there for you. You can go there, watch us, like, and of course remember to share the video so it can reach a bigger audience this morning on the program. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. My name is Ayo Emmanuel Ojo. We'll be right back.
Nigerian economy has had its major distortions removed. It has stabilized and it is now set on a path for growth. The fact is that inflation, which you spoke to in particular, is stabilizing. Prices are coming down. Food prices are down. Petrol is now below 900 naira per liter. So I think those are effects that are trickling down. But more importantly, what has changed under the administration, the Tinubu administration in the last 2 years, is that now Nigeria is incentivized. The economy is incentivized for productivity and for production. If you look at the oil sector in particular, when you look at the price signals there, it is the conducive environment that has led to domestic refining. And we are looking at a situation where more refiners are coming. We expect very soon to have 1.2 million barrels per day of refining capacity. That is job creation. That is raw materials for very many industries through the petrochemical sector. And likewise, the price signals that even we see from a liquid foreign exchange market encourages investors to come in and produce. And indeed, it encourages savers, because when you have too big a gap between the rate of inflation and the interest rate, it is a discouragement to holding Naira. But as we see now, under central bank's leadership, the gap between inflation and interest rates has narrowed, and we're close to having real interest rates. So I think that on the whole, there has been improvement, particularly in the price level that Nigerians can benefit from.
Welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Get set to share your perspective in a moment. Economy not in crisis, says presidency as Afenifere breaks Bola Tinubu law. With me in the studio this morning to help us make sense of the selected stories across major dailies in Nigeria, Chukwemeka Munachiso. Good morning to you, Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning, and how are you doing? And how was your weekend?
My weekend was fine, and I thank God for everything.
Right. It rained again yesterday.
Yeah, we thank God for the rain because, but it's not enough, you know. My prayer is that we should be fully prepared for the rain. You know, we are in June right now, and though it has caused a lot of lack of rain has caused a lot of problem because most of the things we planted they have all dried up, you know. But I think if it starts raining this month, maybe the second planting will take place. But all the first one has all dried up. You know, and then also I discovered that a lot of people are down with catarrh and malaria. You know, it is part of the sign of the time where we're in as of right now. But we thank God for the rain. We cannot complain.
I mean, the rain didn't, go without disruption in some places. Somewhere around Ring Road last night. Carried a few things.
Yes,
and
the breeze, the wind was too much.
Yeah, dumped in between the road. There's this construction going on along before you get to Queen Cinema.
Okay.
That's approaching Adamola from post office. Pulled down. It's said to be a site under construction for this fast-growing fast food joint, and then they're building something similar to a tall signposts and brought it down and dumped it in between the road. I just hope that
it didn't kill anybody.
I mean, from the report I got, I hope that is true, and I hope that before traffic time or before 7 o'clock this morning,
must have removed it.
The appropriate agencies must have done something to that to ensure that everyone is fine and good. The major concern, of course, we'll get to stories from Niger State, which, of course, flooding or your state were always on the map.
Yes.
When we talk about flooding. On Inside Oyo today, we're going to look at flooding-related issues very critically.
It's very important because what happened in Niger State, we can't afford to have it in Oyo State. And it is left for the people and the government to actually come together and not allow that thing to happen, because if it does, it's going to be disastrous. That's why we mentioned about, if you look at the World Bank sponsored the bridges. Look at inside the bridge, you have grasses all over the place. Can't it be? That's why this local government autonomy thing is affecting so many things, because it's the work of the local government to employ people to clear that thing, so that when rain comes, when there's flooding, there will be a passage. But now that the place is clogged, I wonder how the water will pass.
That's a big one. We'll look at that later on today. Listening to us here in Oyo State and Ibadan in particular, let's be very careful. Do not dump, refuse in waterways. We can be tired of that. Unfortunately, with the awareness and all of that, it's like our people are not even changing.
They are not. When it begins to rain now, you see children coming to put something in the gutter.
In the gutter, in the waterways. And eventually when you do that, you are blocking, the road for water, because water will always
find its level.
It will find its level. Whether you like it or not, it will find its level. So we need to prepare. I just hope it's not too late for our preparation, but we still need to do something fast. Chokomeka, let's start with this story this morning. Terrorists eyeing Nigeria, West African coastline, says the United States. On the Punch newspaper this morning, that story is at the top. It's on page 7, but if you get the copy of the Punch for today, you find that story at the top. The right top section of the Punch newspaper this morning. And I want to believe, I don't know the intention of the designer, but I want to believe it's very intentional, so that we don't ignore it and we, pay attention to that story. The commander of the United States America Command, General Michael Langley, has raised the alarm over growing efforts by extremist groups and terrorists in the Sahel to gain access to West Africa's coastline. Describing the recent attacks in Nigeria, the wider Sahel and Lake Chad basin as deeply troubling, Langley warned that terrorist access to the coast would significantly boost their capacity for smuggling arms and trafficking. The Sahel countries of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger is widely regarded as the epicenter of terrorist activities, with insurgent network linked to ISIS and Al-Qaeda particularly entrenched in Burkina Faso. And according to the 2025 Global Terrorism Index published by the Institute of Economics and Peace, the Sahel accounted for 19% of all terrorist attacks nationwide and 51% of global terrorism related to death in 2024, up from 48% in 2023. He spoke during a press conference at the weekend, said the U.S. was increasingly concerned that a coastline incursion would not only endanger African nation, but also raise the threat level to the American interests. Chukwemeka, let's look at this story critically. The other day we heard from, the army as regards, they're saying whatever we're getting right now is coming from foreigners and not Nigerians. And what the U.S., generally saying here. Let's get your view on this.
You see, when it comes to terrorism and everything related to it, Nigeria is in a bind because the government does not seem to understand that there's a problem on the ground. Now, we have, there is a report that in Benue State, Catholic Church has shut down 15 parishes because of headers attack. We know what happened in Plateau. We know what has been playing out in all different parts of this country as a result of headers. And the army even came out to tell us that they are not Nigerians. Then, what bothers me is that why are they so unconcerned about taking the fight to these people? Why? Why are they not going after them? Why is it that Benue State and Plateau and the other states are having it rough in the hands of these people? What America is saying is the reality. And our politicians are fixated on 2027. Is it not when a state is secured that you have 2027? Now we are looking at what is going on, and we seem not to be bothered that look, these people are inching closer and they are everywhere. The Emir of Kano, Sanusi, came out. I don't know whether you listened to his speeches at Rotimi Amechi's sister's birthday. He said that we are in crisis, that Nigerians are living with bandits and Boko Haram. He said Nigerians are currently living with bandits in Nigeria, that they are everywhere. So what has the government put in place to flush these people out of this country? Because you can't be having this killing. And Nigeria is very strategic. Once Nigeria is conquered, forget about other African countries, forget about other West African countries. We know that there's a problem already in Sahel region. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, and even the young man in Burkina Faso is doing his best to make sure that his country does not become a hotbed for these terrorists. But what is Nigeria doing? We hear stories of platitudes from the government, and nothing is going on. Because this thing we are saying is because we are down here, we feel that it won't get to us. It will get to, because a time is coming when we will not even. We are having it here. Okyogu area, although there's quietness there, but it's still there. What is stopping our military from? Because they have told Nigerians that these people are foreigners. Based on what the governor of Benue State, Reverend Alia, said, he said the languages of the people do not have any resemblance with any Nigerian language. That they are foreigners. What is stopping them from flushing them out? Go to the southeast. They have almost over 200 military checkpoints. And why is it not spread in the theater of operation? You begin to wonder, is there any agreement that these people should not be disturbed so that they be doing what they are doing? I don't really understand. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu came out to say some of the arms ended up in the hands of non-state actors. Nobody has been prosecuted. So what exactly is are we prepared? Because Nigeria is the target. And this thing is spreading. Benue people, nothing is going on in Benue right now. Emir Sanusi has come out and people are now shouting. There's nothing on the ground that you will say this is what government is doing to address insecurity.
Chukwemeka, I want us to look at this. The general stated here, explaining his last visit to Nigeria, and said we sat with Nigerian defense leaders to understand how we can help. The U.S. acts with its partners, and in Nigeria's case, we work together to combat Boko Haram and ISIS West Africa in pursuit of a regional security. We're committed to supporting one of our most capable militaries in the region, which is Nigeria. I'll come to that, describing Nigeria's military as one of the most capable and looking at the situation we have. Although our withdrawal has reduced our ability to monitor some development directly, and we maintain strong relationship and provide support where possible. Why the withdrawal? And describing Nigeria's military as one of the most capable militaries in the region, and looking at that side by side with our current reality. How do we explain that? Most capable, and
Yet,
then
no, wait. The man is being
and then their withdrawal.
He being economical with the truth. He's not telling us the truth. You know, these people are very diplomatic. They won't tell you to your face that you have failed. Now, why did they withdraw? Don't forget that they came when Buhari was in power. They withdrew because what we had was that they were not ready to share some military information with our military because of the fifth columnists in the army. Now, maybe they withdrew. You know, the Major General Kangi Marcos came out to tell Nigerians that they arrested some people who were sharing information with this terrorist. Maybe that's why America withdrew. You cannot be running with the hare and chasing with the fox. There are a lot of infiltrators in our military, and America will not get involved in a situation where people you are fighting are also giving information to the people that you are fighting against. They won't. So that's why he said all the beautiful things he said, the most capable, them, and they withdrew. Why did you withdraw? Because they don't want to carry body bags home. You understand? There is a problem in the military. That problem of infiltration. How come that they prepare for attack and this? Why are they being killed? Nigerian soldiers are disciplined people. They can fight. But why is it that when they go on a mission, they come back with a lot of people killed? Why? Because there is our people say what is eating kola nut is inside kola nut. They've not been able to flush out these people. And a lot of people are saying that it was because of this Buhari's ex-Boko Haram being absorbed into the military, which they came out to deny. How come that they look at the deaths they are recording? They go for campaign, and yet people will die. Who is telling them that we are coming? That's why America withdrew, but they won't come out to say it. And that's why we are in a terrible situation. Even the Major General, as a Marcos, he came out to say it, that look, we discovered some people are giving information. And they are why are they not tracing them? Is there no way, is there no mechanism to find out the fifth communists, the people that are sabotaging the efforts of our military? Because they are good. That's why America withdrew. This man will not come out to say it. You have painted them in glowing terms. They are good, they are capable, then you withdrew. Why did you withdraw? Because there's something you are not telling us. And there is something the military need to address. Who are those in the military benefit? Because this thing has now become an industry. You know how much we spent, how many trillions this administration has budgeted so far on this insecurity. Do you know how much Buhari budgeted? But the more we spend on insecurity, the more insecure we are. Why? Because it has become a cesspool. It has become a jackpot. It has become an avenue to make money. So the military must be able to find out who are those who are actually betraying us from within. Because if there's no crack in the wall, lizard will not enter the house. So that's the thing. That's why America, they won't come out to tell us that, oh, this is the reason. They won't. They are very diplomatic people. They know how to talk. They weigh their words. So they won't come out and say it. But Nigerian military, give it to them. They are combat ready at any point in time. But why are they not performing? Why are they running ragtag? Because I see these people as ragtag, overrunning them. Look at the one that happened in Bruno. Look at the one that has been happening everywhere. Nobody has been arrested. I say this one is a header with AK-47. Why are they being shielded? Or is there an agreement that they should not be? I don't understand. I don't really understand. And they own, and the reason why these things are happening is because Nigeria is a country where there's no accountability given to the people. People are not accountable. Our leaders are not accountable to anybody. That's the reason. If it is a country where leaders are accountable to their people, the government will be answering questions from Nigerians. Why are we spending so much and we are not secured? What is happening? The arms and ammunition we imported, why is it ending up into the hand of non-state actors? People will ask questions, but who will you ask? People that are battling with poverty, they've not even eaten. Are they the people that will be going to ask questions? No. But this thing is spreading, and if care is not taken, if care is not taken. Our government must wake up and address this issue. These headers are not spirits. Imagine Benue State. Imagine 15 parishes of a Catholic church shut down because of as the headers. Now it's no longer gunmen. Buhari told us we should be calling them bandits. They are not bandits. They are headers. People that they are being killed, they know those that are killing them. So you can't come out and tell us it's gunmen. They say headers. Headers attack. It's no longer gunmen. So the most important thing, because I don't see this administration, I keep saying it, doing anything about insecurity. At the inception of this administration, our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he gave 5 northeastern states 50 billion. He said for insecurity, you don't throw money recklessly like that to insecurity. You threw 50 billion. That money, where is it today? He said for the leaders of northeastern states. Where is the money to? What has happened in the northeastern? And these groups are springing up. Like Rawa, Mamuda, in Kwara. Boko Haram is there already. They are giving birth to so many groups, and yet we have not been able to find a solution. America is telling us that yes, something is absolutely wrong somewhere. You cannot say we are good, we are capable, and you withdrew. Instead of you to support us, you are withdrawing, which means there is something you are not telling us.
All right, still on Perspectives Unlimited this morning. The recent attacks in Nigeria and across the Sahel are deeply concerning. And the truth is, if it's the United States is concerned, what we're seeing on ground in Nigeria, is it still the same for the government of Nigeria? Are they truly concerned about what's going on? 0916 893 1000. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm not hearing you, but I'm sure you are.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Well done, Mr. Chukwuemeka. I really enjoy you. This is where AGBEYEWO should come in. When the country is secured, the best thing for the leadership of NSC is to shut down the country. That's just it. We are not secured. People cannot go to the places of work. Farmers cannot go to farms. So, what is happening? This is where AGBEYEWO should come in. It will shut down the country until we are secured. Nobody should go anywhere. Stay at home. Good morning.
All right, your view, but Chukwuemeka, what do you think?
No, it's
shutting down the country.
It's making sense. Honestly speaking, it's making sense. Ayo, it has gone to that. It's because we are not in the north. Because we are down here. We think that people over there are having a Christmas party. No, they are having problem. I think I agree with this man. Honestly speaking, because government it does not seem to understand because they are secured. Imagine how many soldiers and policemen and all these security men that will follow an individual to a function. He lives in that world. He believes that everybody is secured. We are not secured. Because we come to work here every day and go back home does not mean we're secured. Anything happening to any Nigerian in any part of affects all of us.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it.
All right, let's take a break. We'll take a break for a moment, and when we come back, we'll look at more stories, and of course, we open the phone lines again so you can share your views and perspectives on this particular story and many more that we will be looking at right after the break. Stay with us.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Give your child the gift of excellence at Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oloyede Estate, Ibadan. Are you searching for a school where top quality education meets care, love, and safety? A school where skilled professionals ignite young minds in an environment that stimulates learning, creativity, and moral growth? Do you desire a school that offers rich academic curricula designed to prepare your child for local and international examinations, opening doors to future success both within and outside Nigeria? At Juniors International School, we don't just educate, we discover and nurture each child's unique aptitude while molding them into highly productive global citizens driven by godly principles. Join us on the journey of raising tomorrow's leaders. Admission test into pre-nursery to year 5 holds on Friday, 5th August 2025. Venue: Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oloyede Estate, Ibadan. Time: 9 a.m. Admission forms are available online at www.juniorsinternationalschool.com or at the school premises. Juniors International School, Center of Excellence.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, you're welcome back. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is Miriam from Odegai.
Good morning, Miriam from Odegai. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Happy New Week.
Happy New Week to you.
The security, no doubt, has deteriorated greatly in our country, and it's causing a loss of lives on a daily basis, which may, in a way or the other, hinder growth and development, because we all know that nothing meaningful will strive in this country being threatened by insecurity. So I think this is the high time the federal government wakes up from their slumber and do things differently. They should provide maximum security for everyone. And I pray the Lord will lead them right. There's still time for improvement. So they should do the needful on time. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Miriam. Thank you for your call. You too can call us in this morning, 0916 893 1000, 0916 893 2000, or 0915 333 893. You can also drop your comment on Facebook, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, and even on YouTube, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. That story about the security situation, terrorists eyeing Nigeria, West African coastline, says the United States, is on the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's go to Niger State, where, stories coming in as regards to the flood is not looking good. Findings by the Punch show that several states have also commenced measures to arrest flooding, with Nasarawa, Anambra, Borno, Kebbi, and Bayelsa State government planning to evacuate residents to prevent loss of lives and property. The federal government announced in April that no fewer than 1,249 communities and 176 local governments across 30 states and the FCT would witness heavy flooding between April and November 2025. This comes as a resident of Mokwa local government area in Niger State on Sunday expressed fear of a disease outbreak as 2 more bodies were recovered beneath one of the bridges swept away by the devastating flood that hit the local government, bringing the total death toll to 153. Very sad story, Chukwemeka. I know that earlier the federal government had warned, of course, in April, that no fewer than 1,249 communities and 176 local government areas across 30 states. And in Niger State right now, the figure stands at 153. I said last night it was 150, 151. We have an extra of like 2 lives added to this now. Human beings
good
here.
Morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you for calling
sir.
us.
This is Ruth
calling from Malakia.
Good morning, Ruth from Alakia.
Thank you, sir. On the issue of flooding, it's so saddening that some state governors have not taken any steps since the 9th warning, despite knowing the implications. So I will just urge the affected state governors to please do the needful so that we won't have more food scarcity. So, and also employ Oyo state government here not to relent in dragging our rivers and streams, because its proactiveness step has really helped us in preventing these unforeseen circumstances. So other governors too, we should please do the needful. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you for your call. NIMET warning, that's not new. We get that every year. But even with the warning, we still get the situation.
Even with the warning, we don't seem to learn. Now there is fire brigade measures to evacuate people, to build one camp or the other, to make sure that it doesn't... Why didn't we start on time? We have this fund, ecology fund. What are the governors doing with it? You remember, because there are some funds kept for this kind of situation. NIMET they have done their work. They have been warning, shouting on top of the roof that, look, these states will experience massive flooding. What have we done? We didn't do anything. Thank God they didn't even come out to tell us it's as a result of the sins of Nigeria. You remember it happened, and one minister came out and said it's because of the sins of Nigeria. That's why. Because when we don't do what we're supposed to do, when we employ people that know next to nothing, to anything, all in the name of politics and religion, this is what you get. Now, we are what has happened in Niger State has happened. We are in Oyo State. And that's why we've been saying it right now. People should own their actions. Stop dumping refuse in the gutters. The government, the bridges that have been constructed, this World Bank stuff, they should enter that, because when we were growing up, we had this PWD, Public Works Department, where you see elderly people clearing bushes everywhere. We don't have such things again. These people should go now. Look at the bridge in this Oloyede here. Look inside that bridge. Tell me how flood water will pass. If we have massive rain now coming, tell me how all the houses around that area will not be submerged, because there is no space again for the flood to pass because of the grasses that are growing there or turning into a forest. The problem is that we learn geography the morning after earthquake, which is exactly what is playing out now in Niger State. 100 people killed, 100 missing, how many buried? And we are still, other states have not learned a lesson. They are still waiting for the rain to come so that NEMA will begin to bring a blanket and mosquito net and begin to distribute. Why must we continue to be refugees in our country? Because of certain things we can equally prevent. I'm saying this for your state people now. Thank God that during this side of Oyo, we are going to address this. Because there is need for your people to know that something is coming, and it's not going to be palatable if you don't own our action.
In September 2024, the Maiduguri flooding, and then I have stories from the Maiduguri flooding. I'm going to backtrack a bit to read that story, and it's very painful that you read stories from 3-4 years ago and you read the present one, and it's still the same thing. The government revealed that a recent devastating Maiduguri flood was caused by overflow of a river and not a collapse of a dam, Alio Dam, at the time. And that's when the minister said something about the sins of Nigeria and the likes. But looking at again, NEMA has already set into action. We read the story of the president, yesterday, as regards what NEMA should do and all of that. But let's take this call, and I'll come back to that in a moment. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Miriam calling back.
All right, Miriam, thank you for calling back.
As regards flooding, NIMET has always been proactive in issuing warning. But it's now up to the government to act. State government should tackle flooding by dredging waterways and also sensitizing people. Stop dumping refuse anywhere. I urge the 36 state governors, especially our governor here, to please do more in dredging of our rivers. We know that the Oyo state government is trying in that regard, so I will still urge them to please do more. We cannot keep losing innocent lives on a daily basis.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Miriam. Thank you for your call. In November 2023, The Punch published this story, 22nd of November 2023. As a matter of fact, Nigeria loses $4.6 billion to flooding, says NIMET boss. That's in November 2023. And now looking at 123 people currently, in Niger State. If we want to value the lives, which we cannot actually
we
put,
we can't
value. How much more people, properties do we have to lose if we constantly ignore warnings? Just like Miriam says, that NIMET is trying.
They've been
they
saying
keep
it.
publishing.
Yes,
they keep
have.
speaking.
They keep.
But we don't stop having this issue.
Look at Ayo. This Ogunba here, safe. Go and see what they have done to that place. All manner of things, they dump it inside that place. Forgetting that when this thing comes, it will carry away their businesses. And they don't seem to understand that, look, they are sitting on a keg of gun. This one not even keg, drum of gunpowder. Our government, National National Orientation Agency.
Yeah.
This is some of the things.
They seem to be doing a lot of radio, television publicity lately.
Over what? Over election, economy.
How to be a good Nigerian.
Look, how to be a good Nigerian should also translate into how not to engage, allow flooding to destroy our livelihood. These are the things they should engage in, because I know that each state has a branch. I know. The National Orientation Agency in Oyo State should actually, now that we have seen what happened in Niger State, this is the time for them to get going. All the radio stations in Ibadan, let's engage them in local languages. Our people should be reminded that, look, rain is coming. Stop dumping this. Provide a way for them to be disposing their refuge. Because these are the things they're supposed to do. Not until something happens right now, they come out again and be making. Let us be proactive right now. Rains are about to come. Today is the 2nd day of June. Between June and July, I just pray.
Water will drop.
Yes. I just pray that we'll be able to contain the volume of water that will come into your state.
All right, let's pray. Yeah, I know we're going to pray, but no matter how much we pray, we won't stop the rain from dropping.
Coming, yes.
Because rain indeed is a blessing. It's only for us to ensure that we create, the ways. But again, Chukwemeka, even in Oyo State, there seems to be more concentration on, the major waterways. Of course, the one the World Bank did, the one along the Ono River, and it tags us. But in different communities, there are bridges, waterways. One along that Akpata Omiadio the other day, when it rained, those coming in from Abeokuta cannot come into town.
Yes.
Those in Ibadan that wants to exit into Abeokuta and areas very close to that axis cannot go. That is still on the table right now, and I think we also need to call the attention of the government to that. Hello. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Gbenga. Good morning. Oh, we lost that call. Please do call us back.
You see, if you look at Molete, not Molete, Bere and Idare, all those areas, you go and see how human beings are living there, what they are dropping inside the waterways. These are the areas, apart from what this one you just mentioned, there are a lot, even Omiadio here, so many areas. So if we still insist, go and check what caused that one at Bata here. There are blockages. The water cannot pass. That's why it must spread to the main road. And now people are not going anywhere again.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yeah, happy New Week to you guys over there.
Good morning. Thank you for calling.
May this week be a prosperous one for us all in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you.
Now, on the issue of the flood, I think, there's something we are getting wrong. And the thing is this, you cannot shy away from natural disaster. Natural disaster is eminent around the world. And when it comes like that, it has to, so when it comes like that, there are some of it that you cannot stop. You just have to manage it the way it is. Though thank God for NEMA, who had earlier given us a kind of early premonition. But at the same time, I think because of last week, something happened like that in US. You can probably you see it there. So NEMA is trying, and I want to tell you that some of the state government as well they are trying. But the issue we are having is that you can't prevent natural disaster from happening. So the thing is just that we must be much more proactive. And when we have such a kind of natural disaster of huge magnitude, I think just have to try and contain it all. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Bengamaro. Is this still natural disaster?
I'm coming,
when we
Ayo.
can actually...
I will respond to that.
Yeah.
Rainfall is not a natural disaster.
Flooding is flooding natural disaster.
What causes flooding? As when man refuses to cooperate with the earth, when you block the way where flood will pass, you create a natural disaster for yourself. When you go and build your house on top of drainage system, you are the cause of natural disaster. You made it happen, not the flood. If you have kept the way where this is where water will pass, I don't want to go and build there. Let's leave it. No, there's no volume of water that will not pass there. That's not man is the reason for natural disaster. We are cutting down trees, and we know that there is need for vegetation all around us. Why did God put Adam and Eve in the garden? When we want to build a house, we cut off everything. When wind comes, it takes away our roof. We say it's natural disaster. We are the cause of natural disaster. It's not the earth. When you violate the earth, you pay a price. That is the reason for natural disaster. So when you go and build a house on top of drainage system and rain comes, where do you want the rain to? It will enter your house and you say it's natural disaster. Rainfall is not natural disaster. It's God's blessing. As far as I'm concerned, a man is the architect of his own natural disaster.
All right, let's move on to another story.
And thank God, the one we have here is not even natural disaster; it's man-made disaster.
Man-made disaster.
Because we are the one dropping things into the drainage system. So when it happens, it is man-made disaster, not natural disaster. People that are expecting natural disaster, if they come to Nigeria, say, if natural disaster should happen in Nigeria, we are done.
God forbid it. All right, let's move on to the Vanguard. Death body no sin in borrowing, says presidency. And the presidency has defended its borrowing strategy as a necessary tool for economic development, insisted that borrowing, when used judiciously, is not a sin. The clarification was made during a presidential media interaction held in Lagos, where top presidential aides addressed the media on the administration's economic performance and future outlook. Looking at that story together, I'll just combine it with the other one so that our analysts can, review both. Economy not in crisis, says presidency, as Afenifere raked Bola Tinubu. The banned socio-political organization Afenifere on Sunday lamented that President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda has turned Nigeria and turned nightmare of Nigerians. However, the presidential media chat said recent government policies under Tinubu opened new economic opportunities for Nigerians and foreign investors despite prevailing economic challenges. That's what the presidency is saying, that borrowing is not a sin if used properly.
Yeah, I will start from there.
Let's start from that side.
Borrowing is not a sin, actually, if you borrow to use judiciously. But borrowing for consumption is a sin. When you borrow for consumption, is a sin. It's a financial sin. Is a sign of financial insanity to borrow for consumption. But when you borrow for production, it is not a sin. But the questions Nigerians are asking, where is the production going on in the country? The policies have brought on us a reign of ruin, and a lot of social strains and upheavals have created a chronic poverty. Poverty has made millions of Nigerians to surrender their integrity and dignity at the altar of survival. And you are telling us that the economy is not in crisis. The economy is in crisis. Ayo. I listened to Edu. Is it Edu or Kadeso that was making a speech?
Edu.
Was making
the one
a
I
speech.
played earlier.
Look, nobody in his right frame of mind will not see what is going on in Nigeria and say that we're making progress. What is the yardstick for measuring economic growth, if not the people? That's the question. I'm not an economist, but I know that if you want to know a man who is living well, look at his children. Look at how they eat in that family. Nigerians have the lives of Nigerians have gone beyond. Many people are living below breadline, and you say the economy is growing. How is it growing? Is it growing on the pages of newspaper, on television, or radio? But the people, look at the people. What that is, a Congo of Gary is still about 1,000 naira. To a kg of gas, 1,170 naira. I can reel out the prices of some of these things here because I go to the market by myself and I know what I'm seeing. And you are telling us that the economy is improving. Where is it improving? Where you can get all this manla fish they sell at 250 before there's nothing. There's no one of 500 naira again. 1,000, 1,200, 1,500. And you don't blame the women. How much are they? A cup of corn is 300 naira. And you say economy is improving. Where is it improving? Ayo, the earlier we tell ourselves the truth, the better for us as a people. The policies are not working. That's what he has created: social dislocations, dysfunctional families all over the place. And yet, you are coming out to tell Nigerians that can he go to the street and say this thing? You say it in a cozy houses, hitting Nikonoga hotels and everything, and gather people that don't even know what poverty is all about. There is massive poverty. I have not witnessed this kind of poverty before in this country. I have not. People are begging, and you say the economy is growing. How is it growing? For goodness sake, whatever we are doing in the area of economy and it's not reflecting on the people is something that is not working.
You know, this statement as regards the borrowing, if used properly, coming from the presidency, contradicts what a lot of Nigerians think about them, as to that our government borrow and then spend the money, but as they desire. But this is coming from the presidency now, saying that if it is used properly, although in Nigeria we have the president and the presidency, but this statement entirely contradicts how Nigerians perceive spendings and borrowings from the government.
We can't exit this level of poverty as far as there is no court in governance. We can't. There is no Jupiter, no way Nigeria will exist this kind of problem we have created for ourselves. You have the workforce is too large. Government must cut down on spending. When you tell Nigerians that we should go into fasting and you are feasting, what does that tell you? Now, Nigerians are robbed of means of existence and without prospects of a future. And you're saying that it will attract foreign investors. Foreign investors in a country where non-state actors are overrunning the country. Who will come and bring his hard-earned dollar to invest in a country that is not secured? I don't know how they reason. Honestly speaking, but as he went to one university in the southwest here, I was telling them to spread their dragnet to attract foreign students in order for them to be solvent in all financial matters. How many foreign students will come into Nigeria to study? How many of them? They themselves, their children, are they in Nigeria? Look at how we keep on talking as if you are talking to idiots. No. There is nothing. Nigerians, which future? Okay, you say that we are expecting people to come and invest in oil and gas, and that it will create massive poverty in this kind of economy. What people cannot travel, people cannot go from here to let them not even go with their escorts, and let's see what happens. They still go about with escorts. That's why they don't know that there is insecurity. Let them drop their escorts and travel alone and see if they will return. I don't know. We should tell ourselves the truth. There's nothing wrong in borrowing. Nothing is wrong with it. But there's a lot of things are wrong when you borrow for consumption.
I'll come to the comment of Afeni Ferry, rating Bola Tinubu. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, it's Bengamari once again.
All right, Bengamari, thank you for calling back here.
Yeah, what do you expect those in glass house to do? They live in glass house and they are three food. They are not feeling the brunt of what we Nigerians are feeling. So what do you expect them to be saying? Is he a part of himself that will go to the market and buy rice and food stuff by himself? Does he even know how much they are selling a bag of rice? Or except they won't do them in the price that he had on newspaper and social media. So those people, they don't know what they are passing through. They don't know. In the course of the 4 years that they will be spending on their various political positions, the federal government will be feeding them. They'll be eating fat from the federal government source. Only you and I and our listeners at home that will only eat from the little we are able to spend for ourselves and for our family. So what do you expect them to say? I only wish they are going to give us a leader, a selfless leader, a leader that will come down to our level and fill our thoughts. Look at the song Abio was singing when they were commissioning that Coastal Road, when he was saying things are getting better, but Tinubu is on the throne. What kind of rubbish is that? What kind of, in fact, if it was to be a Senate client, such a leader should have been asked to resign. I'm telling you. Nigerians are not finding things easy. And all you have to say is to say, when things are getting better under Tinubu, you are trying to equate a song that attributed to Almighty God to just a motor beat. The name of politics.
It is well. Thank you, Benga Mario.
There's something I want to chip in here. I love what a lot of churches are doing. They buy food stuff
Yeah,
in bags
and
and
then
they share to the members.
Yeah.
If the economy is working, will the church be doing that? And I love that so much. They buy bags and they share to the members. In fact, kudos to such pastors.
I mean, happy members, happy church.
Happy members, happy church.
Sometimes when you look at the faces of people in church,
you understand.
You know that
I
if you can feed them first,
I love it so much.
You'll make them smile.
Many churches are doing it, and they give what people are going home with. You will be marvel. That is the way it should be.
Not just churches, really. All the other religious organizations. Even in mosque, I've seen videos and footages of after Friday prayers, people come and also feed people with food stuff.
If Wale Du's economy is working, will the mosque and churches be doing it?
We're doing that. Yeah.
Why is he talking as if he's living in a fantasy world? Will churches and mosques be doing it? If your economy, you have so much so-called policy, if they are working, will churches and mosques be taxed?
Chukwemeka, I'll let you comment on this very quickly. We have just a minute or two to leave here. There are indications that the federal government scheme designed to transition Nigeria's vehicle transportation through the CNG has encountered a major hit. The industry stakeholders told the Vanguard that initial enthusiasm has been overtaken by frustration due to supply shortages and insufficient infrastructure. I know on the Wazobia, you brought an expert on CNG sometimes last year.
That we had only one center in the whole of Oyo State. So all the vehicles will be going to that one center. You see, we are not ready. When you want to do something, sit down, bring people. You are not the president is not expected to know everything, and that's why you have to bring people who know what they are doing. Bring them and give them an assignment. Go and find out how we are going to do this thing so that it will run seamlessly. We have engaged in that CNG. Look at where we are today. The cost of even changing the thing to CNG is enormous. Yes, it's enormous. And now we have only how many in Oyo State? We are not ready. You don't do things that way. You sit down first of all. Count the cost. That's what the good book said. A man who wants to build a house, won't you sit down and count the cost? Whether you'll be able to finish it. We are. There's a lot of plate. There's a lot of things on the plate of the federal government, which they are not handling well.
All right.
God save Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you so much, Chukwemeka.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time. And special thank you to all our callers for engaging with the show this morning. Tomorrow is another time on the program, 6:30 a.m. Hope and early. Let's go through the dailies together. Remember, let's be the best version of ourselves and never be a part of anyone's downfall. In any way, never, ever be a part of anyone's downfall. Let's be at peace with all men. My name is Ayo. God bless you.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. It's unbeatable.